complex eating plans out there. There are quite a lot of things that could go wrong. For me and some other people, it's been life transforming, but for some, it might become a nightmare. That's because they make some of the common keto mistakes. This video talks about the 9 biggest mistakes on the keto diet and how to avoid them. Number 1. Too many carbs. This is probably the most obvious and biggest mistake on keto. You're not restricting your carbohydrates enough. How low you actually need to go depends on your individual tolerance, your insulin sensitivity, your lean body mass, and how often you train. But in general, it should be around 30 to 50 grams net. If you're first adapting to keto, then you even may need to go below 30 grams. The lower your carb intake, the faster you'll be able to get into ketosis. But just eating low carb doesn't work. If you're in this peripheral zone between still burning glucose but not being able to use ketones effectively, then you'll never adapt completely. This would be the worst place to be because your body is constantly in an energy crisis. The solution is to go straight to ketosis and lower your carbs around 30 to 50 grams. Number 2, eating the wrong foods the wrong way. Even though some foods can be keto friendly, it doesn't mean that they're good for you. Processed food comes in many shape and form. It's important to know what you're putting into your body and in what amounts to get the optimal results. What not to eat on keto are highly inflammatory vegetable oils, trans fats, and processed meat that's cured in sugar. These things will cause inflammation and they can also spike your blood sugar. But the way you eat your keto foods is equally as important. For instance, if you heat some fats too much, then you'll promote oxidative stress and inflammation. Charring or roasting meat increases the amount of carcinogens in them. Boiling vegetables soft will remove all the fiber from them and it will also flush out the other micronutrients. You should leave your vegetables slightly raw and crunchy so that the amount of carbohydrates you do consume from your vegetables would be primarily from fiber. The best way to eat your veggies is to either eat them raw, cook them in the oven, or just steam them. People also tend to eat too much protein on keto. Your body needs only a certain amount of protein and amino acids per day, and it's the only macronutrient that cannot be stored inside the body. Any excess protein you don't need right away will be converted into sugar, and it can potentially hinder keto adaptation. Another issue is people eating too much meat as well. Consuming meat and protein triggers the body's anabolic mechanisms that support muscle growth and bone density. However, too much of it can still promote aging and cancer growth. For paleo and keto people, it's very common to be eating a lot of bacon, steak and eggs. But charring meat and frying your food also makes it more carcinogenic. Remember that heat and cooking reduce the micronutrient density of a food and make it more inflammatory. The healthiest sources of protein are eggs, wild-caught fish and grass-fed beef. But you shouldn't overcook them either. The majority of your plate should still be plant-based, so you could get all the micronutrients and fiber. About half of the meal in volume should be some vegetable, 1/3 of it should be some natural protein, and the remaining small amount should be a source of healthy fats. However, that small amount of fat comprises most of the calories of the meal. Number 4, not drinking enough water. Once you stop eating carbs, you'll flush out a lot of water. That's why people lose a lot of weight quickly when they start the ketogenic diet. But most of that weight loss is just excess fluids. Being dehydrated and suffering from an electrolyte imbalance are ketogenic mistakes you don't want to be making. They will make keto flu symptoms a lot more severe than they actually are. The recommendation of 8 cups of water a day is inadequate when eating low carb. You should drink about 10 cups a day, but at the same time pay attention to how often you urinate, because you're also flushing out a lot of the electrolytes. Instead, add a pinch of sea salt to your water and stir it so that you can absorb them completely. Number 5, not enough micronutrients. Other electrolytes and micronutrients you should consume are potassium, magnesium, calcium and sodium. Try to get them as much from your greens and veggies as possible. Potassium, spinach, avocado, salmon, coconut water. Magnesium, chard, pumpkin seeds, spinach, almonds, avocados and dark chocolate. Calcium, kale, sardines, broccoli, bok choy, cheese, raw milk and kefir. When it comes to dairy, then you have to look at how your body reacts to these nutrients. It can cause some bloating, inflammation, rashes, and some acne, so you should still want to limit your dairy intake. Sodium, add more salt to your food, drink bone broth, some bouillon cubes, pickle juice, so that you wouldn't get headaches, fatigue, or muscle cramps. You can also supple some of the deficiencies. Check out my Amazon influencer shop to know what supplements I recommend you to take. Number 6, you're too stressed out. Being too stressed out is also one of the secret reasons why you fail to get into ketosis. If there are too many stressors in your life, then this adrenaline and cortisol pumping through your veins will prevent you from establishing ketosis. There's gonna be excess glucose running in your bloodstream, and this hinders the use of ketone bodies. Every time you get angry or scream at someone in traffic, you're raising your blood glucose levels and become a raging sugar burner. No one wants to be around someone like that, especially not ketones. 7. Working out the wrong way. Ketosis is a great performance enhancing tool as well. The problem is that those advantages become apparent only after proper fat adaptation. This takes a long time, potentially even several months, and you need to accompany that with proper training. At first, you need to build up your fat burning metabolism with some steady state aerobic training. You can still do heavy resistance training and anaerobic HIIT cardio, but not so much. That's why low carb athletes also tend to eat the wrong way. If you're working out hard and burning off a lot of glycogen, then your body needs some extra glucose. And if it's not coming from food, then you may suffer some poor performance, some potential muscle loss, and fatigue. It's also going to stress you out more. If you're training very hard, let's say like 5 to 6 times per week, then you need to compensate for it by consuming some strategic carbohydrates. Cyclical ketogenic dieting works best for bodybuilders or endurance athletes who are preparing for an event or a race. Targeted ketogenic dieting is best for improving your performance in any individual session. You basically eat a small dose of carbohydrates during your workout that's going to promote protein synthesis afterwards. I have books and videos on both of them, so check it out. And one of the biggest mistakes people make is not committing to keto as a long-term thing. Keto shouldn't be a quick fix for fast weight loss. The greatest and most advantageous benefits of keto adaptation appear only after several months. You're going to regain your energy and vigor, which is going to make the fruits of life that much sweeter. Although you can't eat a lot of fruit on keto. You'll feel amazing all the time because your brain has constantly access to high quality fuel. You'll optimize your health and performance by protecting yourself against inflammation, neurodegenerative disease, and other illnesses. You won't be obsessed by food. Of course, you have to pay some attention to these hidden sugars and hidden carbs, but other than that, you'll never feel hungry, you'll lose your sugar cravings, and you don't have to count calories to feel satiated. If you think you're feeling okay right now, then wait until you reach the deepest stages of ketosis. Then you'll realize what abundant energy actually feels like. To learn more about the ketogenic diet, then check out my free ebook Simple Keto. But still, click the like, subscribe, notification bell as well. Thanks for watching. My name is Seem. Stay long term, stay empowered.